Ready when you are,
Alright.
maestro.
Maestro. So you are Katie.
I am Katie.
You are my other brain cell. As you are
The other
widely
half.
known. Yes, as you are widely known as. We're not dating, but people keep thinking we are, but we're literally the same person. You're my sister from
You
another
say the
mister.
same things.
Yes, all the time. And on Monday, we were chilling.
Was it Monday?
It was Monday.
Oh.
It was on Monday, yeah. And I'm asleep in my chair. Got a game up, left it open for you to play on. While when we chill, we listen to true crime and we listen to Rotten Mango. Rotten Mango.
Rotten mango.
Rotten Mango. And you turned you practically your mic was technically off. Like you couldn't talk into or anything like that. And I'm happily asleep in my chair and you heard some things. Do you want to go through that with me, please? Go on, tell us everything that happened. So I was comfortably asleep when this happened.
You
On camera
were.
with you.
So obviously listening to Rotten Mango about some true crime. And first of all I thought it was you snoring.
That's not how I snore.
No. And then I thought maybe it was Milo.
That's not how he snores.
No. Until I hear a very clear, hey. And then I freeze in my game. Which I might be able to send you the full clip of where I freeze.
You have.
And then some mumbling afterwards. And then obviously I didn't wake you up.
No, you left me asleep for a good 40 minutes, you bitch.
I was too scared. I didn't know what to do. And I clipped it. And let you listen to it with me.
Yeah, because you didn't want to listen on your own, did you?
No, I didn't.
Harsh comment on this random person's picture. Because the now since taken down YouTube video said, now Pakibum, who was known as the main culprit in the Miryang incident, he knocked the victim unconscious with an iron pipe and gang essayed her with 12 of his buddies. He filmed the incident to use as blackmail.
I didn't know if I was hallucinating.
But this is the thing though, right? Because you've heard something before this happened, like a couple of weeks before.
So when we were watching InSim, I heard you say, that's so saddening.
Which I would never say, and especially in a calm voice like that.
Yeah, but I heard it. I said that one I couldn't clip. And I don't know.
So we couldn't clip it because we weren't in a game, unfortunately. Because we were literally
just watching YouTube.
Yeah. And I was awake as well. And she was like, why did you say that? And I was like, I have no fucking clue what you're talking about.
And then I rewind the video and I'm just like, I don't come from that.
Okay.
And I was like, I definitely heard you say, that's so saddening.
That's so weird. I would never say that. That's the issue. But I do like the fact that you did leave me to sleep for a good 40 minutes.
I'm not gonna wake you up and be like, so you need to wake up. Someone's talking in your place. Get out.
I would to you. I'd be like, bitch, run. Run.
Oh no, because obviously I know about your previous stuff and like the doors closing and whatnot.
We're gonna make an MMO of the game of Vampire. Hello? I live alone. I'm... Hello? So the door to the hallway just opened and Peanut, who was over there, just ran towards me because the door just opened and there's no one there. And this happens quite often. I mean, did my Discord like window flash up green when it
So
talked?
no, because obviously I was still streaming the video, I had you on the full screen, so it didn't actually light up because it doesn't light up when you're full screen.
Right.
But it was 100% you. And from the clip, obviously you can hear the YouTube clip like very jittery,
Yeah.
and then whatever's coming from your place super clear, not jittery.
How did you feel about the fact that when we go back and listen to it, that there's
Don't like
more
it.
stuff turning up?
Don't like it. I don't like it.
Why?
Don't like it. Don't like it. So basically, what we did, we went through a few AI programs to remove the background noise, and I'm sure you can put them in the video.
Yes.
And you can hear a very, very clear in the distance. Who's a good boy?
Why that though?
Talking to Milo asleep.
It's
Like
gotta
that's the only thing
be.
I can think of. Like it was so far away. Obviously, Milo was asleep in your bedroom,
Yeah.
and it managed to take that bit out, and it was further away. And then you hear the very close "Hey,"
I
and then whatever it mumbled afterwards, which we have
which
no idea what it said
baffles me that we can't seem to separate that last bit.
because
But
it's so close. It thinks that it's
the
them
video,
talking.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is weird.
Mm.
My issue is that I don't like how fast it went from far away to really close.
No, obviously I don't know how big your place is, but no.
It's not that big, but it would
Mm.
take more than that to come close to the mic and go, "Hey." When we were watching back at it, we were listening to it. We were both practically crying because we were scared. Like, we
I
had
was
tears.
crying.
I was too. And then we didn't know how to react, so we just started laughing
And you
and
were doing what you're
crying.
doing now. You were holding your hands, just like
It's a comfort thing. I was like, oh. We have more proof. So we've got clips of like from when the doors would open and slam open, and now we've finally captured a voice that we've been hearing like since last year. Because when it mimicked Jenny, that was terrifying. And then this happened when I'm asleep,
And when you said that's so saddening,
and
and it
that
was your voice.
I don't like the fact that it's my voice.
No,
That's unnerving to me.
the fact that I completely froze in game because I generally thought it was you going, "Hey,"
Do you think that
and
hates my
you weren't awake.
voice?
When it came out of the AI thing, when we split the audio, it didn't fully sound like your voice, but at that time, it did. It felt I generally thought it was you, like you'd woken up and you've gone, "Hey," but then no, I looked at you and you're still asleep, and then I hear the little mumbling afterwards of the other voice. I'm just like, his mouth isn't moving.
So we've checked the mango video to make sure it wasn't from that, and obviously it's not
Awesome.
me, because I snore like a drill, just like Milo,
Mhm.
very guttural and deep, and that voice is it sounds like a woman's voice.
It does. Now that we took out the audio from it's definitely a woman going, "He's a good boy."
I am. Oh
And
god.
now we know why Milo barks and growls at the hallway.
Yep, that we do, which he's been
Mm.
doing quite a lot for lately.
Because there's a lady playing with him. Going, "He's a good boy." I mean, it could very well still be a mimic. Like, I, I, I don't know. I don't like. You obviously had those people come to you, didn't you? About what are they called?
Yes, last year I had I'm just gonna call them Ghostbusters. I had some two gay men Ghostbusters come in, and they did all the stuff and talked, and you can't do that. uh, and everything was been really quiet until recently.
And they said about an old lady that you didn't know about.
No, but then he was like, she's gone. And I was like,
Has she?
great, didn't know she was here. Never heard peep from her.
But has she gone?
I would assume
This is the
so.
thing. Obviously, they mentioned an old lady, and then we hear a lady.
But it doesn't sound like an old lady's voice to me.
Not all old ladies sound like old ladies. Maybe like they said old lady, but she might not be.
No, they
like,
said she
in her
was like,
90s and all
they
shriveled.
said she was quite old.
Yeah, but her voice like might not be like Barbara, you know. Like...
Barbara? It's been 25 years.
Exactly, it might not be like that. Like you do have some like kind of soothing old ladies' voices.
I don't find that voice soothing.
Or no, because it's in your flat.
Yes, I live alone. And no one lives above me or anything like that. So I'm literally
And
alone.
it wouldn't have been them because I've never heard them. So even like when they were living above you,
I mean,
never ever heard them.
I mean, they were all guys who lived above me. So if a woman's voice came through, I'd be like, oh, silence, please, in the bedroom.
Stop doing your hanky panky.
Do you want to hear a joke? Do you think that's why it picked up because they've moved out?
No.
No. Go on, what's going through your head?
Did you ever speak to them and see if they did like experience anything weird?
I didn't. I kind of wish I did.
Maybe you should have.
Yeah, I think I should have.
And now she's lonely and be like, oh, who's the next person?
No, thank you.
I'm gonna go downstairs.
I don't want that. They can take that. When you move, go with them.
I think you should have those two guys back though to see what they say.
Yeah, but they also commented on like me
More
and
things will happen.
yeah. Because obviously since I was young, like things have happened. Like Janine's
Mm.
traumatized. Like I'll probably get her on to talk about it at some point, but like she had okay, so let me explain. So in our old house, it was an old Victorian house. Like you don't think like you know, things happen. Sometimes the house selling. It's just no. I try to think logically, even though some things I'm like, oh, with, and then I'm just
Oh.
like, could be a gust of wind in my enclosed flat. But there was always like this tall, dark shadow man. Like even back then there was. But the thing was that it didn't like Janine. She would wait. She would like it would. I don't know, best way to say is it didn't like her. It attacked her. Like she would wake up with giant, like even it was bigger than my dad's hand, but it was like giant like handprints like on her face because it used to push her face down into pillow and stuff like that. And she'd wake up with handprints on her face and on her neck and like just all over and stuff like that.
But you say that.
But
and
it was
say,
fine
like,
with me.
It pushed. But how do you know, like, obviously, so there's obviously experiences with like demons that they burn the handprints in, like it looks red, but it's actually a burn mark instead. So how do you know, like, that's not that?
It was a bruise.
Oh.
It was literally a bruise with just a pair of a handprint on her.
Oh.
So it wasn't a
got bitch
burn.
slapped.
She basically got bitch slapped by a giant fucking hand. But like she's traumatized from that shit. Like the thing is though, is that I'll go to hers when the kids, my nephews were younger, and I was staying over. Janine was one side of the bed. I was in this class side of the bed because Dave was like working late, and I was just helping look after the kids. And we went to bed. I'm like half asleep. Janine's half asleep, and all the kids like this only happens when I go around. But all the kids' toys went off at once, and Janine was like, "Did you hear that?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "We should go turn them off." And I was like, "Yeah, you should." And she was like, "No, can you do it?" And I was like, "Fuck off." So she had to go around. She had to take all the batteries out of every single fucking toy because they wouldn't stop.
So does she have?
But nothing
spirit
happens there.
also?
No, nothing happens when she's there. When I go there, things happen. So she doesn't let me sleep over anymore because of that reason.
Maybe you need to like get some holy water and like put it on your neck, and
Well,
I
I'm
think
not.
you need to be exercised, whatever it is.
You know, Ben said that to me.
I think you do.
Why? I'm fine, but I like nothing's like.
How do you know?
I don't know. I've got a
If
swollen
it's
lymph
been
node.
with you for this long.
Okay, point.
Maybe this isn't the real Noah.
I'm a woman now. I've changed my mind. Put them back on.
Imagine.
Oh, that'd be
You have
fucked.
an exorcist come around and they do all that on you, and it's just like, oh, where are my titties?
I'm not that bad. Jesus Christ. Tatas! Where's my tatas?
Family friendly.
I am not. But what do you think about everything now that you finally got, like, you captured something and shit? Like, how do you feel knowing that it's not you hearing things when we're on a call together?
I don't know. I don't feel any better.
Why?
Because it's freaky. The fact that, like, I think I preferred thinking that I was hallucinating, because it's like with the first voice that I heard you say when you said, "That's so saddening." Like, that was so clear. It's like the hey, except it was 100 times more clear, to the point where I was just like, "What? What do you say?" Like, that means that whole time you probably had someone right next to you, right on the mic. Yeah.
I didn't think of that. I'm not gonna lie, that does freak me out. You've said that actually. You've said that a few times. Where from where I was laying sideways, because I was laying my chair, it's like all the way back, feet up on the other
So
chair.
yeah, it's like
So it was
when Ben
like,
is round, and it sounded like his kind of distance voice.
so that's literally just here, where this chair is
Yeah.
here. Okay.
So it was like that kind of distance voice, but a little bit further back. So I feel like it was like behind you, or like in between and slash behind, like maybe where like your bookcase is. Go to where your bookcase is and go, "Hey,"
Hey.
or yeah,
Hey.
that is like
Hey.
identical.
Really?
That is.
That's literally right here then. So that's only about maybe
Yeah.
4 feet behind me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's uncomfortable.
So they were like just standing behind you while she was sleeping.
I don't like that.
No, you've got someone watching you sleep.
We-
Going, who's a good boy?
They're not. I am a good boy. What do we do?
I don't know. I've got kids in my place. I'm fine.
That's true. So I didn't know Katie had like things going on in her place in her home, and all of a sudden I hear the sound of little running feet and then giggling, and I was like, "Do you have like kids like near you?" She's like, "No, but let me tell you something. Go."
So me and my mum, we would used to joke because we'd always hear. So we've got a semi-detached house, and there was always kids next door to us, but that's not the house that's attached. And we would always hear running, like, it sounded like it was on this level where my bedroom is, her bedroom slash maybe attic.
It sounded when I heard it though. It sounded like in your hallway, like running past your door, like running down.
So also
Sorry.
whenever we're watching TV, it would kind of sound a bit like that. And we'd always joke and be like, "Oh, the kids are running about again." But then obviously when I had Nala and she was staring out the door, I'd be like, "Oh, I wonder if I turn my webcam round." And then we saw that little
We
shadow.
saw shadows. Yeah, that was fucked
Just
because
going,
that's the
"Oh,
weird
fuck."
thing though. Because if I'm lucky, we've still got pictures of it somewhere on the Discord. If I do, I'll slap them up. But it's the
I
fact that
managed to find it, but it doesn't look like as clear as we saw it. Like, because obviously we've drawn on it,
yeah.
you can't really see the outline.
But it was the fact that we were just staring at it. I was like, oh, as a joke, like, oh, turn your camera around. And we were watching it. We just kind of stared at it for a good couple of minutes. We're like, I'm sure that shadow's moving. And it looks like a head and a shoulder and an arm there. And then we were
An arm
like,
waving.
yeah, and then we were like, we're not going to say it to each other, but we're going to take a screenshot and we're going to draw what we see. And it's literally side by side. It was the same thing. And it was like, oh no.
It was so bad. And the fact that, like, I tried debunking it. I was looking around just like, what
You
the hell
did.
could cause that shadow?
You open and
Obviously,
close
I've
all
got
the
my
doors,
door. Yeah,
the
I've got my
lights.
door, which you can see the shadow in anyway, and that's a straight line, not a little child figure waving. I looked in my old room where my PC was, and there's a ladder. That definitely ain't it.
No. You'd see the differences with where the steps are and stuff like that, and like where the
Yeah,
sun's
and it
hitting.
wasn't like. It was weird because it wasn't on the wall that was next to the other room, like by my stairs. It
No.
looked like it was in my doorway, which obviously there's no wall there.
Yeah.
It was just.
It was interesting. It was uncomfortable for me to watch you and then you just staring at it constantly like, oh.
Yeah, I was still in the room. My door was wide open. It was behind my computer screen, the one I'm looking at now. I didn't like that because I couldn't see it,
That's true. That's
but
true.
my camera could, and so could Nala. Nala was looking at it. I was like,
That's weird. You know what? I forgot about that with your own eyes you couldn't see it, but when you turned the camera you could. That's
yeah.
weird.
Mm.
And the fact that people use all these expensive things to like go ghost hunting and shit like that, we're just like fucking Discord,
Don't need it.
mate.
Don't need it.
Don't need
Just
it.
get a normal, just get a normal webcam and a microphone. You're done. Have a
Yeah.
nap.
That's all you need to do. Hopefully you catch up in when you're asleep.
Yeah. Record what happens when you sleep.
What's
And the
the
fact that you've like dealt with it your whole life,
Yeah, but the
but
voices
just
on
like
you.
that, yeah.
That's where it gets up close because the voices on you. That's new. Like, I've had
Mm.
doors opening and closing, things slamming. Like every now and then, like something
But
would
you'd think it
move.
will start the opposite way. You'd think that you would hear voices first, and then there'd be like doors slamming, because obviously, like movement is more aggressive, especially door slamming. And I thought that would take more energy than
Hey,
talking.
yeah, that's true. I don't know what that's about. That it's gone like backwards.
Oh, I'm never coming around yours.
Oh no, please.
It said hey to me.
He just wants to be friends. Maybe I'll go
Oh, it
with
could have said
you.
hey to you, and
I'd
then
rather
whatever
it
it
say hey
mumbled.
to you and then it goes home with you.
No, I don't. I don't want, like, obviously I'm trying to ignore whatever's here. I'm
Understandable.
trying to ignore it more since I saw those yellow eyes in the garden and the hiss.
You
Like,
should
that really
talk
freaks
about
me
that.
out.
Go on.
I don't want that.
You can't bring that up and then go, I don't want to.
So I was outside having a little smoke break. So where our garden is, you've got my back door, which you can also see like part of the bathroom, and then it's grass, and then obviously the wall to the other house that's semi-detached to us. And I turned round, see or hear this hiss, and see yellow cat eyes go from the bathroom wall to the other wall. And there's no way it could have happened. Like, the only other windows that was there is obviously my bedroom, which I was outside, so there's no one in there. The dining room windows, which the curtains were closed, nothing can go through there. It's just
And it's an
pure fucking
enclosed
attic.
space, so no the lights like cards and
Yeah.
stuff. Here's something I've not asked you though. Like from the floor to where the eyes are, like how tall are we talking? Like is it like small animal or is it like tall person?
No, it was like my eye height, basically.
And you're five
I
foot nine,
turned and it was there. 5'8".
5'8", fucking Amazon. 5'8". That's quite tall actually. That's a bit
Yeah.
scary.
But I mean, at least it was kind of my height instead of like 7 fucking foot.
Yeah, you got a point. What
Like,
would you
if
do
it
if it
was
was
a lot
taller?
higher, I'd be moving out. I'd rather live with you than deal with that.
Come on down, bish. You get the bedroom.
But obviously, with like me and my mum, we've like kind of experienced things since we were kind of younger, I guess. Like, I saw. So me and my sister, when we were younger, we were staying around my mum's then partner's house, and we decided to camp in the garden. I was very young. I was in like primary school, and I woke up to this old lady, big smile, wide eyes in my face.
No, I don't
Me
like that.
completely freaked out. No, it was oh god, it was literally from a horror movie. I could still imagine it today. Me completely freaked out, go underneath my sleeping bag, try and go to sleep, tell my mum about it in the morning. It's like, oh no, you just had a nightmare, you just had a nightmare. For so long, they kept telling me, you just had a nightmare, until I got older, and she was just like, yeah, his place was actually built on top of a cemetery.
Oh.
She gaslit me until I was older, till I could like kind of understand it, I guess, or not get freaked out.
No, that's still freaky. It's even more freaky.
Yeah,
But
but I full on remembered it, and she was like, "Okay, yeah, I can't tell you it's a nightmare anymore because you are going on about this so much because you remember it."
yeah.
And when she was younger, when she was with my dad, they were walking through town. We've got a place called Christchurch Park, and they walked past that. So everyone would always break into Christchurch Park, like there was always gaps. So they were walking through Christchurch Park after breaking into it. So you've got this massive park, you've got the mansion, and you've also got a cemetery and church attached to it.
Mm.
And they were walking through, and my mum swears by this story, and my dad's always just like, yeah, let's not talk about it. They saw floating monks walking.
Like monks in like a robe, like
Yeah,
old-fashioned robe, not recent
yeah.
robes. Oh,
No,
and they were
full
off the
on like
ground.
old, off the ground. So they say that sometimes you'll see spirits and they're like floating because back then the grounds were higher. Obviously, with like built roads and
Oh,
everything.
fuck.
So they would normally be like higher because we've dug up roads to build houses and whatnot. So they saw them floating. I'm guessing where obviously the path would have been back then. And then they asked around because back then they didn't have the internet to like Google whatnot. They asked around and people said, you know, that actually used to be like an old monk place, like back many years ago. And like, huh?
That's,
So monks actually used to run the church that is on that park.
that makes me uncomfy.
I don't know what I'd do. Like I used to break into Christchurch Park. If I saw monks just walking, floating in the air, I don't know what I'd do.
I'd probably get like, see, I'd probably go up and then put a stick underneath to see if there's like anything under there. Looking up your rope. No, I'm joking. I wouldn't go near that. I'd just kind of stare and try and be like, what am I seeing?
Yeah, I think I would freeze.
Yeah,
I wouldn't know what to do.
I think
Just like
that's.
I did when I heard the hey.
Shut up. No, you know what is uncomfy though is that the smiling face was like an unnatural wide smile. Like even I've seen something like that, and other
Mhm.
people have, and it's like, why is that? Why is it always that unnatural smile and the wide eyes?
I don't know. And I don't I could still remember it to this day. Bear in mind I was in primary school. It felt like I got woken up. And bear in mind I'm laying on the floor, so I like turn around and I get woken up and I open up my eyes and she's fucking right there.
Mm.
Just like I got
That face image is really uncomfortable for me.
I can't even do it. Like
No,
it was literally like
it's unnatural
up
because
like
how the
there.
face moves, it doesn't. I've
Yeah.
seen shit like that. I have here, unfortunately.
Mhm.
Bald
Maybe
man,
did you see hey?
big unnatural eyes, and a very wide smile.
Are you sure it's a bald man, not a bald woman?
Bald man, because it's taller than me. Because I've woken up
Oh
to.
my.
Fuck you! I'm average height. No, like even I've woken up to like a shadow more than anything like leaning over me, and I wake up and I actually
Yeah, I don't like that.
punch out with my arm, and in anger, I go "fuck off," and then
Was that one where you saw it? Were you on the toilet and you saw it?
No,
Your
okay, let me
face?
explain that. I wasn't on the toilet. I went to check on Milo and I went round the corner to the bathroom. So where my bedroom is, it's the bathroom's right there, like literally there. And as I turned that one little corner, I came face to face with a face. That's the wide eyes and the smile. And my first instinct was, I might actually seen this, and I actually reached out and it disappeared. That's where I came to you and I was like, I'm not having a good time. Because I saw it and I reached out. My first instinct was, can I touch this? And I don't know why, just to make sure if it was actually there in front of me. But other times when I've woken up where a shadow, it's happened numerous times where shadows lean over me and I reach and I punch out and I actually tell the fuck off, it goes away for a while. Like it listens and then eventually it'll come back and do the same thing. And it's always bent over, you don't see any features, it's literally a black human shape.
It's bent over.
Yeah, so it's not. It's okay. Wait, let me. I think. Like, okay, this is my bed, and it's literally like this. Like it's bent over. Like there's legs, there's a torso, there's arms, and it's
How
bent like
tall is it then?
pretty fucking tall. That's the issue. It's pretty
If it's
fucking
bent
tall.
over,
It's bent over to look at me really close, but its head isn't just looking down. Its head is tilted to the side, and that's why I get chills with this bit because like I don't know if you can see it, like my arms are going up because I'm like all the hair's coming off my arms. I got like the goose pimples because many years ago I went ghost hunting at Castle Keep, Newcastle Keep, and it was a group of us, and it's the first time I experienced something like this. But it was a tall shadow thing. It wasn't the same type of height. It wasn't as like tall and kind of lank as what I see here. But I could see it, and I remember turning to look away, being like, "This is just my mind playing tricks, you know, shadows. Your mind makes up shapes for that." And I turned my head to
Mm.
look at the side to look away, and it tilted its head and followed where I looked, and like curved its head to look to get back into my view. And like I'm getting like all like fucking my arms are going up, but like it when things tilt their head now when I see it, it unnerves me when that happens. So when it did that to me with its head tilted, that's when I no connection. Arm flings out and I'm like, fuck off. But
Oh
yeah.
my
But when
god.
things do that where they do that to get into my view, it makes me very uncomfortable and freaked out a little bit because I think that's a very unnatural way to move into someone's like eye view.
Yeah. That's I didn't know that was like bent over.
Yeah, it's bent
That
over.
means it must be like super tall.
It's very tall, and that's why I get scared sometimes.
Yeah, that's not a good
No,
sign.
because it's not like the worst bit is at the top of my the bathroom door, this door here, my bedroom. There's this little slat of glass at the top that's touching the ceiling, and sometimes I think I can see something staring at me through that. So that's why like computers in here are away from the glass, beds facing away from that area and stuff like that. And I don't look up above that. So anything, I'm like a gamer in real life. I don't look above my eye level. I don't look below my eye level because I've seen things crawling. So I'll just stay focused on this bit. If I don't
Oh,
see it, it doesn't exist.
I don't like
Hi.
that. You've seen things crawling either.
Yeah, that was in the old house when I was little when things happened. It was it girl like crawling.
Oh, Grudge Girl?
Not like that, but I remember it's really weird because I can remember the face. It was like cropped kind of hair that was kind of raggy, like messed up. But it's mainly the fact never smiled, always like sullen, I guess, but the eyes were sunken in a bit. I remember the eyes being sunken in. That's the bit. And the worst bit is that my friends wouldn't come around because even when they were there, things would happen. And as a joke, one day it was me, Amy, my girlfriend at the time, our friend Kirsty, and even Janine was there for this. I don't know if she'll remember this, but I know Janine was there. But you know the crappy metal like blinds you get with like flimsy and stuff. We were joking around like,
Yeah.
"Oh, is there anyone there?" And the blind slammed into the window in a human shape, and we bolted. We ran, and we ran outside and played outside for a good few hours. We wouldn't come back in because we were like, that was weird.
You need an exorcism.
I need something being done. I've got sage that I'll be doing at
You
some
need more
point.
than that. You
But
need to
it'll
be
calm it.
bathed in holy water.
What if I burn? Got sensitive skin.
Because you're possessed. I feel like you need to contact someone and be like, look, can you just what is it when they like do things to the house as well? Bless the house. And you need to be blessed.
I need to be blessed.
You need to be blessed. You need to be blessed and your house needs to be blessed. I feel like. Because obviously something's following you, but then also something keeps coming into where you live.
Yeah. Oh, I'm hoping that the sage kind of helps with that a little bit. Cleanse the area and stuff like that. So I'll be
But it's
doing that.
only temporary, isn't it?
It is, but at least for a little bit, it'll be really calm. Do you have any other experiences?
Yeah.
Go on.
Oh god, I hate this one.
Oh, come on, I told you
Okay,
mine
so
with the
I've
head
actually got a
thing.
few.
Okay, I'm ready. Wait, I'm not ready. I need to get ready into some Okay, I'm ready.
I'll start with the less freaky one. So when me and my sister were in like high school, we'd stay up late and we'd watch Most Haunted on the TV. And obviously back then you couldn't fast forward or
Nope.
rewind, whatever. So on the breaks we'd be like, right, cigarette. And I can remember when I was about to get up for one, we were just like we were rolling cigarette, sitting there, and I look up. So our sofa was like behind us, so living room, TV, sofa, window, other sofa. I was sitting on this sofa, and I look up to the window, and the curtains were pulled, but with our curtains, there's always like a little like that in it, so you
Oh
can kind of
yeah,
see
like the little
outside.
thing. Yeah, the little arch
Yeah,
sort of thing. Yeah.
I don't know why. Like they're straight curtains. Don't know why they always do that little arch. And there was a face there. I look up. I go to my sister like, "There's someone outside." And she goes, what? I was like, and I'm staring at the face. I was like, there's someone outside. I didn't want to like not look away from the face. I was like, this like someone's peeping through our window. And she looks and she's like, where? I'm just like, there's someone outside. And then it suddenly just goes down and ducks.
How, like, was
So
it downstairs, upstairs?
this is downstairs. So this is in our living room downstairs. So God, I didn't even think about this. So I mean, to look through our window, I mean, yeah, I can like go kind of on tiptoes, not fully on tiptoes. I can like go like that and you can see my full face. Like you don't have to go like full on high. But so this could have been one or two things. Back then apparently we did have a peeping Tom.
That doesn't make it any better, Katie.
I know. It could have been one or two things. It could have been that, because my family say I've always seen faces. And that's actually happened twice. Where again, we were walking outside, so living room, dining room, we have to walk to our kitchen to go to the back door to go outside for smoke. Same thing, 5-minute break, we had to rush it. And I was walking through the kitchen and I just felt this urge to look to my right, so onto our garden bit. So that's where we've got an alleyway, which is where the other semi-detached house is, whatever.
Mm.
And there's someone in the garden. Now this person was real. I looked and I screamed. I was like, there's someone in the garden. And we heard him jump over the fence and run down our alleyway and just leg it. And we were both just like, do we still go out for smoke? Like, what do we do? We did.
You did? Katie!
Yeah. I was just like, well, he's just run down the alleyway. Like, it's fine now. So we
Until
did
you
it,
see his head pop up and go, hello! Oh, hey!
Well, we were already outside then. We just grabbed our dog back then. I was like, come on. The super freaky one, which I have no explanation for.
Okay.
So I was probably like high school. I used to sleep on the sofa, wake up whilst watching like South Park, and then suddenly there'd be, can you remember like at like 3 a.m. there'd be those shopping fucking adverts?
Oh yeah, you want to buy this?
Programs.
Yeah, if you want to buy this, ring this number
I'd wake
now.
up to them, and I'd be like, okay, yeah, it's like gone 3 a.m. then, so I need to like go up to bed. Also, this is when I was in my old PC room as my bedroom. I was walking up the stairs and outside my window. So I never close my curtains. Never have, never do. I always have my window like a little bit open. I was walking up the stairs. I look up out my window. So my windows, it was the same back then. So I had the big window at the bottom and then like a smaller window at the top.
Hmm.
Yeah, a bit smaller. Bear in mind, 2-story house.
Hmm.
Above that one, the roof is like that. You can't get on top of it.
Right.
And from the roof to my window, I've been out there because I had to take the satellite down. It's probably from the floor to like here. So a good 4 foot to that top window. There's a face upside down, hanging upside down.
Fuck.
Literally, I just saw a face like hanging upside down from it. And I just paused on the steps and I was staring at it. I was just like, Mom! I started screaming for my mum. I was like, Mom! And I had to look away because I was just like, she's not coming out of her room. And I felt really bad for waking her up. So I was standing outside her room, like knocking really gently. I was like, Mom! Mom! Like knocking. It's just like, what? What's wrong? I was like, there's someone outside my window. So she comes out and she looks out. She's like, there's no one there. I was like, there's someone hanging upside down from my window. She was like, that's impossible. Like, no one can hang upside down from your window. So she goes outside with those rolling torches. That
Oh yeah, so you can crank it up.
Yeah. And she's showing around. It's like, that's impossible. Like, look at the height. They would have to literally be hanging from their toes on the roof to actually be able to do that. I was like, Mum, there was someone hanging outside my window. I saw their face upside down. It's like, look, just go to sleep. And yeah, no, like we spoke about it once before, and my mum and my sister always just said, yeah, you've always seen faces like when you're younger. I don't see them now. I hope I never see them again.
Understandable.
The only thing that I've seen is obviously those eyes.
Why do you think you've
Little
never seen
faces.
them again?
I was probably just traumatized that now I just black them out.
Understandable.
because each one's been so scary. Like
Do
the old lady,
you remember what the
upside down face,
face looks like? The upside down face.
not normal.
Just a normal face, just staring in.
No, not normal.
Not normal.
Not normal. It's kind of like what you said, like bald man. The only way I can like kind of explain it is a bit like Gollum, but with smaller eyes, and he wasn't smiling.
No. Was
I
he
don't
just
think
like
it's kind of hard to tell, like because he
it
was
was
upside
upside
down.
down? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
But I don't think he was smiling. But it just looked like Gollum with smaller eyes. Yeah, very very pale. I can remember that.
Yeah.
It was literally like white. Yeah.
Creepy. That's creepy. No,
I
thank you.
think that's like the only ones that I've had, I think. Yeah, just seeing faces in windows.
The fact that one of them's a natural peeping Tom, though.
It could have been. So yeah, it's 50-50. It could have been that because obviously my sister looked out the window and there was no one like running down the road or anything. Like we even went out the front and we couldn't see anyone running down the road or up the road. Like our road is literally a straight road that
Yeah.
you can see all the way to the bottom and basically right to the top. And there was no one there. So it could have been peeping Tom. Maybe he was hiding behind a car. Maybe he went down one of the other roads. Very, very well could be. Or maybe he hid like in one of the other alleyways. Or it could have been
Could be
not a
something.
peeping Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's bizarre. That's
But I didn't even know that we had a peeping Tom until my mum said to me. And so this is the worst thing.
oh god.
Obviously, this is nothing paranormal or anything.
Yeah.
So our peeping Tom, everyone would see him in town. He would carry around a biscuit tin. Can you guess what was in the biscuit tin?
Hopefully biscuits.
No. There was pictures
Condoms.
of kids.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. And no one arrested him?
No. Because, I mean, they were just like. Obviously, they weren't his kids,
I hope he doesn't have
but they also
kids.
weren't inappropriate pictures of kids.
But still, you're
And
walking
they weren't pictures
around.
that he took himself.
What
So
did he?
he technically wasn't doing anything illegal.
Are they like cutouts from like magazines or something?
Yeah.
Oh, and a tin just full of that.
Newspapers, magazines, everything, yeah.
That's just that.
Just a biscuit tin.
Just a
You know,
biscuit
so
tin.
normally elderly have like sewing stuff in there, but no, he had
Yeah, he had.
pictures of kids.
That's so bad. That's so
And the
bad.
only way that someone actually found out is because he tripped in town and it all just went flying. And people were helping him pick it up and they were like, uh, you're always carrying this around. What?
That's bizarre. I don't like that
Yeah.
one bit. No,
Yeah.
thank you.
Welcome to Ipswich.
Welcome to Ipswich. Oh, do I want to come to yours now? Peeping
No.
toms and upside down faces.
You're the one with the lady in your house and shadows. I have a puppy.
I've got a dog.
Your dog barks at the shadow thing. I
He
don't have
growls quite
anything. Yeah.
aggressively right now. He does run up to the hallway and start growling
Yes.
and barking. I have to drag him away.
He has been growling a lot more aggressively than he
Usual.
has done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause he's normally a very quiet dog unless he wants a bit of attention. He'll kind of whine at you a little bit and he's like, oh, you're so cute. But recently it's been a bit uppity. Everything.
I still think you've got a portal somewhere in your hallway.
They did mention that. So it's probably in the hallway if there is one. I don't know how to check that stuff, so I'll just leave it as it is. I don't have mirrors there or anything like that. The mirrors I've got is here.
Yeah,
They're
sometimes
not.
they can't be. Like, it's like some of the ghost hunting shows that we watch, sometimes they've been in cupboards or closets for some reason. But there's no mirrors.
Mine's in a.
Yeah, that you've got to walk down to get everywhere.
And then I see her face and I reach out to touch it to make sure it's real. Great. Just what I need.
There's got to be something that you can get to see. I don't know. I still think that you should get like a little REM pod and put it in your hallway. Have you got an EMF?
Do not. I used to
You should
have
get
stuff,
an
but I
EMF.
don't have any of the stuff anymore. So maybe I should try and record it
Maybe not record it.
and be like, "Look, Katie."
Because I don't things get angrier when you record them?
I don't know, Katie. You recorded, and that's
No, I
when my
didn't.
thing went flying.
I didn't record. I clipped, and yeah, then your wallet went flying.
That freaks me out. I'm not gonna lie. That really genuinely freaks me out when that
You
happened.
like super jumped. You were like
Yeah, because I saw my
afraid to
wallet
watch
lift
it.
up and go fucking flying. That's not normal. Couldn't explain that. I
The
like to
fact that it
try
was
and
like
that was
after,
that was 3 a.m. That was because when the voices happened in here, it was around 7:30. Yeah,
yes,
and
and it
then
was after we split all the audios because I was just like, all right, let's go to bed. I was like, hang on, like let's try this. It was after we were splitting all the audios and listening to what it said, and then
my wallet went fucking flat, and I nearly went to Ben's to spend. Would have woke him up and been like, "I know you're up in like 2 hours for work, but can I spend the night?" Genuinely
you
was
did your
terrified.
usual thing that you do, the freeze and hold your hands, but oh
Yeah, because it was on that. I don't know why I do that. It's a very comfort thing for me when something scary happens or I'm unnerved. I just instantly like this, or I
yeah.
hold my own hand, like trying to soothe and calm myself because it genuinely fucks me up that little bit. I'm like, oof.
Oh.
It's different from when you hear things slamming and then you see like the doors open and stuff like that, or like, oh,
Mm,
some stuff's kind of fallen over. That could just be wind. I can explain that. A lot of things happen
yeah.
where I'm like, I can explain that away. It's okay. But when you actually see it move up and then go flying, that's when I'm just like, I am extremely uncomfortable with seeing that because that's not right.
In a way, like with the doors, even though like there's no wind coming through, you're basically gaslighting yourself to be like,
Yeah,
it's fine.
I hate gaslighting, but when it comes to that, I'm just like, it's okay. I know the windows aren't open, but it's just the wind. Until you basically was like, if you turn the volume really loud, you can hear footsteps. I hated you
Oh
that
god,
moment.
yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah, because I
That
didn't
was
know
in
there
one of
was.
your clips, wasn't
It
it?
is. I'll have to really find them and eventually slap them up on the YT. But yeah, if you turn up really loud, you do hear footsteps, and it's. I
Yeah.
live alone. Obviously, I've always lived alone. I've never lived with anyone. Like, so it's
Was that
uncomfortable.
after the door slam? Was it before? I think it was after, wasn't it?
I can't remember. It's been a while since we've
Yeah.
watched that clip because of you
Uh-huh.
see. I'm obviously I'm on Twitch live streaming at this point when this actually happens. And you just hear the door slam open and me freeze in all my glory and stare at my fucking hallway door. It's all the doors in the hallway that slam open: the bedroom, the hallway, and the bathroom. Them 3 doors. They're the ones that always slam open. And you hear them. You actually hear the door handles go and slam all the doors one at a time. Bam, bam, bam. It's not all at once. It's one at a fucking time. And then you just see me staring at it like, I'm going to go outside with my cat. Because I only had Peanut at the time. And I would basically go outside with Peanut and I'd go book someone for a couple of hours until I felt comfortable to come back.
I mean, I wouldn't feel comfortable to come back.
I always did, but it's the only thing that makes me uncomfortable. I don't know how to explain that away. Because we've gone through, we've checked the videos, we've made you. Obviously, you saw me and I wasn't sleep talking or snoring. It wasn't the dog because Milo
Mhm,
snores like a drill and he's like me. It's very
mhm.
guttural and loud, and you
Wasn't
know when
Peanut.
you hear it. Peanuts are little wheezers, and I don't know if she was in or if she was in the bedroom. One of the two. If I don't know if outside or in the bedroom.
Yeah, so not right by your mic. Either
No, you would
way.
have seen her from the way the angle was.
Yeah.
Because I basically zoomed out, so you could see me in all my glory in the chair, my little feet sticking out, just like this.
I actually did send you a picture of you just like
Yeah, that was when Peanut was on me before she fucked off. I'll slap that on.
with the really long arm.
Oh yeah, she's like, is that your elbow? Is that your elbow?
She thought she had double elbows.
Might as well have. Who knows?
Ugh. I just don't like. I can't full on think about it, but then I can't stop thinking about it because it wasn't normal.
Yeah.
I'm used to hearing the bangs and that, and I'll go to just like, is that your door? I'm used to hearing
Yeah.
Milo like growling in the hallway. Like I'm
Yeah.
used to that.
Yeah.
Not a voice.
Not a voice from nowhere. I clearly didn't hear.
No.
I was just happily asleep for 40 minutes before I woke up and you were like, I can't stop there, watch it with me, I'm too scared to watch it on my own. And I was like, okay.
So I clipped something and you need to watch it with me. I have not watched it. It's like, right, what is it? And I was like, I heard you say hey.
I was like, what?
Turns out there's actually more than just a voice saying hey.
Yeah.
And whatever else it says at the end, which we still don't know.
I hope people can maybe clip it and try to like have a look at it themselves. And
We need
maybe
an
be
expert.
like, we need an expert to basically be like, can you separate this? Can you analyze this? And A, prove that obviously we didn't make this up. And B, to see what it's actually proper saying. Because we think we hear what it says in a little bit of it, but the rest of it, no fucking clue even when it's closer to the mic.
All we managed to pull out was the who's a good boy, and then the hey.
Yeah. And
And then
that's
we
it.
heard like maybe he had something.
Yeah.
We don't know what. Just we need professionals.
We need professional help. Well, I think
We need to know what it says.
I think with that, I think that's a good place to end it. Tell us your experience of things that you've experienced and what you think is actually saying. And if you can do something, have a play with it and let us know.
Have a play with it.
Ba-dum, ba-dum.
And
Harsh comment on this random person's picture. Because the now since taken down YouTube video said, now Pakibum, who was known as the main culprit in the Miryang incident, he knocked the victim unconscious with an iron pipe and gang essayed her with 12 of his buddies. He filmed the incident to use as blackmail.